Hey guys, welcome to English. So today we are going to be kind of continuing from Monday's lessons, types of sentences, mostly going to be reviewing compound and complex sentences, and simple sentences want to join the party as well. Simple sentences are very simple. They're basically independent clauses. For example, all of these example sentences are simple sentences. Has a subject and verb, right? I went to 7-Eleven. I stayed home during the pandemic. My cat ate dinner. My dad baked cookies. These are all examples of simple sentences. Remember that you can combine two simple sentences to create a compound sentence. So you definitely do need a coordinating conjunction to connect these two sentences, which is what we practice on Monday, such as and, but, or. You also have for, nor, yet, etc. And remember that you need a comma before the conjunction every time you write a compound sentence. So again, simple sentences just has a subject verb and is a complete thought, basically an independent clause. If you combine two of these together with a conjunction, with a comma and conjunction, turns into a compound sentence. Some other examples we talked about of compound sentences. Went to the park and I saw a dog. The third type of sentence that we talked about on Monday is, do you remember what it's called? Complex sentence. So complex sentences sound a little more complex because they are. These guys, you need an independent clause and an dependent clause. So as a review, a dependent clause cannot stand alone. It's not a complete thought, and it starts with a subordinating conjunction, which are these guys. So for example, dependent clauses: when I sing, after I finish homework, because your brother is tall. Can't stand alone. It's dependent. It needs a strong independent sentence to help it out. Examples of complex sentences: I won't go on the ride unless you go with me. Where is the dependent clause here? If you said this, you're correct. If we move this dependent clause and move it to the beginning, what do we need? Good old comma. So when you put a dependent clause in the beginning of a complex sentence, you need a comma. Other examples of complex sentences we talked about on Monday: after the bell rings, the kids will flood the hallway. Once the tardy bell rings, comma, kids dash for their classes. When class begins, comma, the students pay attention. So here's a simple chart that summarizes the three types of sentences. So pause the video here, take a few moments to look over these. I found these to be super helpful, and this chart will help us as we practice identifying and writing these three types of sentences. All right, are you ready? I know that was a super quick review, but I know that if you do need extra help, you can go back to our Monday's video and our other video that I will link to this playlist. Okay, you'll need your workbook pages 281 and 282. As always, we'll do the guided practice together, and the independent practice you will do independently. If you would like, please pause this video and take a moment to read this top chart as well. Okay. And these are our common subordinating conjunctions for if we need to look back at it. Write the letter of the correct sentence type. So we got simple, compound, complex. While Israel wandered in the wilderness, comma, God dwelt in the tabernacle. My question for you is this a simple sentence? No, it is not. Is it a compound or complex sentence? Well, let's look here. What kind of conjunction do we have over here? While is the conjunction that tells us that because this clause starts with a subordinating conjunction, this is a complex sentence. Number 2, the tabernacle was a great tent. This one is a simple sentence because it has a subject and a verb, it gives a complete thought, and it does not have more than one. It's just one sentence. So this is our simple sentence. Number 3, God gave exact instructions, comma, and Solomon's builders followed God's instructions. So we do have a conjunction. What kind of conjunction do we have? Is it subordinating? No, right? It's a coordinating conjunction because we have and, making this a compound sentence. We have two simple sentences joined by comma and a coordinating conjunction. That's why it's a compound sentence. Number 4, King David prepared materials for the temple before Solomon became king. Okay, let's break down this sentence for just a second. Okay, what is our, well, let's find the prepositional phrase. Our prepositional phrase is for the temple. Okay, what is our first independent clause? King David prepared materials. Okay, let's look at the other clause. Before Solomon became king. Is this independent or dependent? Well, we have a subordinating conjunction before, right? So this is dependent. It's not a complete thought. And if we have an independent clause plus a dependent clause, what kind of sentence is it? Complex. Great job. Combine the simple sentences to make a compound sentence. We're looking at compound sentences, which means we're going to be using coordinating conjunctions and a comma to combine the two independent clauses. King Hiram sent many trees from Tyre. The stones were quarried near Jerusalem. So let's combine these sentences. King Hiram sent many trees from Tyre. What do I need next? Comma, very good. And the stones were quarried near Jerusalem. Is this a compound sentence, guys? Yes, it is. We have two independent clauses joined by comma and coordinating conjunction. Let's make another one. Combine the simple sentences to make a complex sentence. This time we're going to make a complex sentence. So for a complex, we will first need to pick a subordinating conjunction. The people loved God. They gave gold and silver for the temple. I'm gonna choose because the fact that they gave gold and silver for the temple showed that the people loved God. So it's like a reason. Why did they give gold and silver? Because the people loved God. This is why I'm going to choose a subordinating conjunction here for because. So there's two options. I could write because the people loved God, and since our dependent clause is in the beginning, we need a comma, right? Because the people loved God, comma, they gave gold and silver for the temple. Or the other option is they gave gold and silver for the temple. Do I need a comma? Nope, because this is independent. Because the people loved God. Let me make this smaller. So here are some other options for the complex sentences. Great. So for the independent, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to decide if something is simple, if each sentence is simple, compound, or complex, and then write simple sentences. Let's do number 8 together. Separate the complex sentence to make two simple sentences. So this time we're doing the opposite. We're going to be given a complex sentence and we're going to separate it into two different simple sentences. Christians do not need a temple because God dwells in their hearts. Boys and girls, what is the subordinating conjunction here? Because, very good. So we can take that out because a simple sentence will not have a subordinating conjunction. So ta-da, we already have two sentences here. We just have to write it down. The first one would be Christians do not need a temple, period. What is our second simple sentence? God dwells in their hearts. Sorry. Fantastic. Does this make sense? Just a quick two quick reminders. We are going to be doing apply and write today, so you need your Bible and you're going to write a compound or complex sentence about the passage. So you're going to read it first and then write your own sentence about it. And another thing to remember is that when you're looking for simple sentences, it's possible to have a compound subject or a compound predicate. So we kind of touched upon this a few weeks ago. So a compound subject could be like two or more simple subjects that share the same verb, right? Such as sunshine and rain make a rainbow. Miss Oak and Rexon says hi. These are still simple sentences. So it's possible for simple sentences to have compound subjects. It's also possible for simple sentences to have compound predicates or verbs. For example, Jessica cooked dinner and cleaned the kitchen. So this is not a compound sentence. This is a simple sentence. Why? Because Jessica cooked dinner is an independent clause. Clean the kitchen. Is this an independent clause? No, because there's no subject. Does that make sense? How do we make this into a compound sentence? We could do something like this. Jessica cooked dinner and she also cleaned the kitchen, because then Jessica becomes the subject, verb is cooked. She is the subject here, verb again is cleaned. So these are two separate simple sentences combined. So this is a compound sentence because it's simple sentence plus simple sentence. I hope this helped. And that is the end of English. Great job. Make sure to complete this page and take a break. You deserve it. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye!